what you eat? How important is it really?
How important is it really? I don't think anybody doubts that it is important what you eat. But the real issue here is how important is it? You know, is it going to make any real difference? Everybody will still die, whether you eat vegetarian food, meat, super uber vegan or whatever. You're still going to die. And also, you don't, the difference isn't really that visible most of the time to me. I mean, there was a guy, wasn't there, who discovered this fruitarian diet, doctor, whatever his name was, and he said if you eat just fruit, your body will cleanse, and then, because there's no cell in your body that's over 7 years old, there's absolutely no reason why you can't go on indefinitely living. And the story is, it's a true story, that he sat under a tree enjoying some fruit, and a coconut fell from the tree and killed him. He died. The other thing is, it's like, for me, I stopped eating meat when I was 18, became a vegetarian, and then, after that, I started eating meat again, and fish. And then one day, my cousin, who's got this big place with lots of chickens and ducks, he goes, I come down from meditating, and he goes, Tim, could you just go and get a chicken and a duck? I said, what do you mean, go get a chicken and a duck? He says, could you go and grab a chicken, use the pliers, special chicken pliers, and kill it, and then go and get a duck and strangle it, and then take them to the machine, and it rips their feathers off, then bring it into the kitchen and we'll have it, we'll eat them. It was a very strong moment for me, because I knew he was testing me, and I was going to eat whatever was served up. So I said, okay. And I went into the chicken pen, and suddenly I'm aware that these 15 or so chickens, they all know each other. They've all got relationships. And more than that, they knew what I was doing in there. And after chasing them around and having them escape and all kinds of kerfuffle going off, I finally grabbed one and stuck it under my arm and got the pliers and did its throat. And its throat went loose and it just ran off again. It was horrendous. Finally, I killed it. But then I went to get the duck. By this time, I'm in some sort of trembling, murderous mode. And I grab this duck, and there's no way that I can strangle it. It's flapping, and it's major kerfuffle, noise going off. So finally, I get it under my arm, and I get a small stick, and I whack it on the head. And I whack it again. Now there's blood everywhere. And I whack it again because it's still flapping about and its head spins round. There's blood everywhere. And I'm in a sort of hysterical bloodlust by this point. This thing just will not die. And it's like, you know, I can't stop. I've got to kill it. Then I put it down on the ground. I'm whacking it, whacking it, whacking it. And finally it dies. So then I just sit. And I just think, okay, how do I feel about that? And it was amazing. I felt absolutely nothing. It didn't mean anything. At all. But then I realized I could choose to make it mean something. So I chose to make it mean that I'd taken its life. It wanted to live. It had consciousness. In fact, I never saw how much consciousness it had until I tried to take it away. And then I really saw it. So from then, I couldn't eat meat anymore. I didn't eat that chicken, I didn't eat that turkey, I never ate that duck, I didn't eat meat again. But how much difference does it really make? It makes some difference. But I don't like food Nazis. There's a lot of food Nazis about, isn't there, with vegans. Oh, you should eat this, you shouldn't eat that. I think people move slowly in the right direction, hopefully. I'm not a vegan. I remember back in the 70s, 80s, everybody was microbiotic, balancing the yin and yang or whatever that was. And those people look mean, I tell you. They look like hungry like wolves. Their chins were all up and they had sort of fierce eyes, hungry like wolves. And you knew really what they needed was a slab of chocolate cake, squirty cream, eat that and it would all be all right. But we don't need to be like that. And then of course, Buddhists say, oh, it's okay to eat meat. Have compassion. Pray to the animal. Listen, if the animal could speak and you said, look, I'm going to eat you, how do you feel about it? The animal would say, actually, well, no. I've got a family, there's things I'm up to. No, don't eat me. But because we think it doesn't respond, we think asking it is somehow okay. And we think that's somehow connected to compassion. There's no way eating animals and compassion can be put together. And the reason why Buddhists do it is because when the Buddha died, the last thing he did is he left his servant Ananda and went to visit a butcher, it is said. And he had his favourite dish, which was called pig's favourite in the Pali, translated. And what people take it as is meaning he ate pork. But actually, pig's favourite is truffle, mushrooms. The Buddha knew about magic mushrooms. He'd lived as a sadhu in the jungle for many, many years. He knew all about it. And that's what he went to the butcher for. And that's why he didn't take Ananda. But because of that mistranslation, now Buddhists eat meat. They can't think that, is this a compassionate act? No, it's not. Oh, I'm doing the soul, I'm doing the animal a great favour by eating it, by offering it, by chanting over its dead body before I eat it. I don't really believe that myself. It's a misunderstanding. But the real issue, I think, is that the amount of water and the amount of food that it takes to produce a kilo of meat, we can't go on doing that. It's having a devastating effect on the planet. And I think that's the soundest argument. Not for health, you know, whether or not animals feel it, but simply by doing so, we're affecting dangerously life on Earth. The methane, the deforestation, the amount of water, the amount of grain it takes, the antibiotics, all these things. So I do believe it makes a difference, but not that much. Not that much. It's like you can't really tell a Christian, someone who's been saved by Jesus, from a normal Joe walking down the street. You can't really tell a vegetarian from a vegan. You can't really tell a vegetarian from a meat eater, generally. There are differences, but they're not huge, in my view. It's not a thing to identify with. Who are you? Who am I? Oh, I'm a vegan. I'm a vegetarian. No, you're not. That's not who you are. You're not what you eat. Something much more wonderful. I had a friend once And it was at one time where I was living, and all the meditating people met this guy, this doctor, and they went on a group kind of fast, and they only drank a pint of fruit juice a day. And for some of them it went on like weeks and weeks. And they got kind of shiny and a little bit strange. And I remember one guy and his wife, they'd been doing it for, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, just one pint of fruit juice a day. And it was Easter time. And a friend came with a big bar of chocolate. Oh, happy Easter. We bought the chocolate. Oh, we can't eat it, we're on this fast. Put it on the mantelpiece. So they put it on the mantelpiece, the friend left. And the wife goes to the husband, it is Easter, so we could give it a little lick. We could just lick the chocolate. The husband thinks that's a great idea, so whips it off the thing, undoes it, licks it, she licks it. 30 seconds later, the entire bar of chocolate, gone. And then the husband rushes out of the house, down the road to the chip shop, 2 big bags of chips, comes back, bosh, bosh, eat that down. Oh! And then agony. But the thing is, it's a relationship. Food is a relationship. And you need to keep it balanced. Because I've noticed, if you get extreme with it, you get extreme reactions. Like this guy ended up eating all kinds of stuff and becoming very fat, obese. So it can go both ways, and people get extreme about food, and then you get into the anorexia and the bulimic world, which is a torturous world to live in. And so you have to keep it moderate. And if people come and see me with that kind of thing, that's what I try and say to them. Keep it moderate. If you have any extreme thoughts coming in about really anything, then know that this is a sign to calm down and to really look at what the true issue really is. And people do suffer from having an extreme relationship and investing food with meaning that it doesn't have. Eat and be happy.